going, everybody? Level M Diecast bringing you a showcase today. We are going to go over all of the Matchbox Premium Collector Acrylic boxes released to date in no particular order because everybody would go through these in order, and we just want to be different here. We want to do things a little Level M style, and at the end we are going to open up the new RSR that just dropped and add that one to the collection. We're going to start off with this one. This is the 93 Ford Explorer Jurassic Park. Of course, they all come in this oversized acrylic case. They do have some designs for the bottom piece there. Sometimes they're three-dimensional, but for the most part, there's not really much design there. A little bit of mumbo-jumbo on the bottom of all of them. And then on the back usually gives you a little synopsis of the model or the reasoning behind the model and stuff like that. So there is the information there should you want to read it. This is pretty cool. So they all just come in this little slider here. This is very soft touch, kind of a weird print stuff. And then a really nice Matchbox logo right there in some high gloss. Looks pretty good. You see the fencing in the back. It looks pretty cool. Kind of gives to the effect. This is the model itself. This is in gold chrome with the typical, decos on the top. Dare I call it Spectra Flame paint. Chrome wheels. Not a fan of the wheel choice, but or the fact that they're chrome. I think that yellow would have been sufficient. There is full deets on the front, although you can't see them because the brush guard is in there. It's the exact same casting as the one that they used in the Jurassic Park line, so nothing special with the premium version, just the deco and, of course, the Real Riders. Still has a plastic base, unfortunately. And then there is the deets in the back with your Ford logo. And then, of course, they do have, the legal jumbo at the bottom, because there always is the legalness. So that one was pretty cool. Not a big fan. I definitely wasn't a big fan of that one for sure, but it is what it is. Next one, we're going to take a look at Mercedes-Benz 220 SE Coupe. I think this was the second one ever released. I think might have been the third, but I think this was the second. Again, same acrylic oversized box. There is the deets for this one. Gives you some history for the casting for this one versus necessarily just the model itself, which is cool. It's a nice tie into the history of Matchbox. So this one does have opening parts. Has kind of a tile kind of driveway look on the bottom. And then that is the Mercedes-Benz Museum, I believe, in the background. So that is a super cool addition. Definitely like this one. This one is in brilliant silver. Does have the GT wheels on there. I think those wheels look fantastic on this model. Again, opening doors with a black top, blue tinted window. Super high quality print on that roof. Really nice inkjet printing. Full deets on the front, chrome base. Again, plastic base, unfortunately. That's unfortunately what we get. It's not like RLCs where they're all metal on metal or anything like that. And then there is your deets there. It says my 220 on the plate. And then, of course, legal numbo jumbo. So that one's pretty cool. I actually really like this one. A lot of people didn't like that one, but I thought the 220 SE was a fantastic model. All right, jumping around a little bit. This is a 2020 Corvette. This is the C8 Corvette. Unfortunately, not the opening parts one, which I think was kind of a really bad move because that casting did exist at the time that this came out, so they could have used it. Of course, this is in Gulf Deco, of course. Some deets on the back. The art looks fantastic. The car doesn't look anywhere near as good as that art, but the art looks pretty good. Get that to focus in a little bit. There you go. Check that one out. This does have just a 50th logo number in the back. Nothing fancy with that. Just some simple striping on the base in light blue to match the Gulf theme. This is all flat. All the paint finish on this particular model is flat. So I do like that. I just, and the wheel is terrible. The wheel for this model is really terrible. But it is what it is. It does have full deco. It says Big Gulf on the back for sure. Of course, it says Big Gulf on the back. Get that to focus a little bit. Fighting with the acrylic. And there is the other side, just the same old deets. This one does have some striping on the top, which matches the base. I do apologize for the light. There you go. That's pretty cool. Like that it matches up with the two stripes. That is a cool feature. And then, of course, this one, the legal is a little bit more involved because there's a lot more licensed stuff here with Gulf, Bell, Bilstein, and Falcon. So, and of course, GM itself. It's cool. It's cool. It's a Gulf item. It's meh. It's meh. All right, next one up, a little bit of Japanese style flavor. This is the Nissan Z Proto. This did debut in this line, and then this casting did come to Moving Parts. So also came out in the Japan version of Moving Parts as well. This in Spectra Flame Gold. This is 100% Spectra Flame, no doubt about it. Dons the exact same wheels as the Corvette. Not a good wheel. Again, card art looks fantastic on the back. There is the deets for this model. A little bit of information for the Z pertaining to Matchbox, and of course the Z itself, its own information. Nothing fancy on the bottom here. Slide this guy out. This one is pretty tight if I remembered. There we go. So kind of a downtown scene in the back. Don't think that that's supposed to be Tokyo per se, but potentially, I guess, maybe. But looks pretty cool. Really cool effects on the road base there. It's kind of blurred, so it makes the car look like it's moving, which is super cool. Definitely like that feature. Black roof. This one does have opening doors, so of course, like I said, moving parts line, so it does have opening doors. Deets on the back, full deets on the back look good. Plastic base, as always, nothing fancy, nothing different there. This one does look pretty good, though. It's good. If it had a better wheel on it, even just like the standard D10 wheel from the mainline, I would have been super stoked about that. Nothing to license here on the bottom, so nothing fancy, just Nissan themselves. So slide that guy into there. There we go. That one's super tight. All right, the next one is going to be a two-parter. Mitsubishi Lancer Celeste. Now, you may be wondering, why do you have two? This is one of those models that has two interior variations, and yes, should you want to be a completist, you need to get both left and right-hand drives. 1975 Lancer Celeste has a little bit of a field in the background, a little bit just kind of strolling, looks kind of cool. Details on the back, of course, the card art and all that good stuff looks fantastic. Model looks a little bit squished, but not too bad. It's a pretty cool model. Moving parts, so it has opening doors. So we'll slide this guy out. There is your little scenic background driving through the fields, all that good stuff like that. There is the Celeste. There has some Japanese writing on the side. I think this says Matchbox on the side. Matchbox underneath the rear vent as well. I think this wheel choice was fantastic in silver. Looks super good. Of course, they all have real riders. Deets on the front look fantastic. No rubber band or nothing to hold the hood down. The hood just kind of stays down. Has two white stripes. So you'll see this one is right-hand drive. Kind of hard to see that. Try to play with the glare a little bit there. I do apologize. It's right-hand drive. I don't know if we'll be able to see this, but you see how it's just the rear hatch area inside the hatch there. How it's just smooth. That indicates the right-hand drive side. So there's also a difference of that interior as well. I'll show you with the other one. There is the deets on the back. Looks pretty good. Interesting taillight design for this model. Same deets on this side. And then, of course, nothing to license because it's just the model itself. Really high-quality prints, though. Those are super high-quality prints on the base. So I really like that one. Throw that guy in there. Throw him to the side. Gonna make some room. Deets on the bottom. No deets. Slide this guy out. Same, nothing changed. It's the exact same. So you see in the back there, it's got those lines, kind of the detailed section in the back. Again, I do apologize for the glare of the light, but those lines indicate that that is a left-hand drive. You can see that that is left-hand drive with the steering wheel. It's a black interior, so it's really hard. So I really got to get a lot of light in there. I do apologize about that. But again, both versions do exist in moving parts as well. So you'll have to hunt them down should you want to be a ultra completist. So I did order several of these to make sure that I could get both versions. Well, kind of worked out. All right, switching gears a little bit. This one's a little bit cooler. 72 Volkswagen Beetle Dragster. This is a redo of a old-time super fast casting. This one looks fantastic. This is actually the only one that I missed out on buying. I was working, so I was unable to get this one. Luckily, I had a buddy who bought a few of extras, and I was able to purchase one from him. Otherwise, I've been pretty lucky with grabbing everything from Mattel's website. There is the deets on the back. Again, card art is just great. The card art is just great. Man, the card art looks so good on the back of these all. They look so good. I really, really like them a lot. Slide this guy out in the background. Just kind of, it's supposed to be like a spectator. Kind of side of a drag strip, maybe. It's kind of, supposed to mimic that he's, drag racing down the strip. This one did come out in moving parts as well. This one is very interesting. It is, of course, a dragster, so the whole top opens up, and it does have a stand in there to keep it propped up. Really, really like this model. This is, again, the modern version of an old school casting. Nothing with the base. You see, it's just black. It's just black. It does have a nice print to it, though, so it definitely looks like it's a traction base for a drag race. That looks pretty cool. Details on the front says number 2. Looks like green Spectra Flame. MBX Dragon wheels. Love the wheel choice. Looks fantastic. There is your laundry chute out the back. Goodyear and all that good stuff like that. This one has some print on the top. Looks pretty good. Says Lugo on the top. Abe Lugo, of course. And then the deets on the bottom, a little bit of extra print for extra licensing. Volkswagen, Goodyear, Bell, and Willward. Because apparently that has Willward brakes on it, which is perfectly fine. Super cool. Slide that guy into there as we keep building our wall. All right, our first true SUV. Explorer is an SUV, but it's not true SUV. 1965 Land Rover Gen 2. This one is super cool. Now, in the basic range, this model does have variations on the roof section, but there's no interior. But this is the premium model, which has an interior. Only one roof section on the top, which is very, very good. This one in blue. This one has a very nice three-dimensional base, which is the first one that we've seen. There has been a few of these. They did these initially, but they kind of went away from them. So most all of them just have flat bases. Unfortunately, there is the deets. Did you want to check out the deets? Again, the card art. Man, it's good. It's good. It's really good. Slide this guy out of there. Of course, this guy is supposed to be, surfer style. Ooh, come on. Come on. Ooh, it's so tight. So tight. Ooh. If it's caught on something or... Let's try to take it the other direction. Ooh, struggling. There we go. I think it was... maybe it was catching on that little lip right there, maybe. There is the back. Of course, it's all surfer style. There's a dude surfing a big old wave in the back. That looks pretty cool. Definitely laid back version for this one. This one is very interesting with the chrome wheels and the tan tires. Very, very interesting look. It says Land Rover Series 2 on the side. Full deets on the front. Has all your good stuff on there. Land Rover logo. P symbol. All that, stuff to, be a hippie, I guess. There it is on the base. Kind of parked right next to the shore on the beach. It's got some rocks around it. Those are full three-dimensional rocks, as you can see. This is one of the coolest bases ever. You can see all the detail underneath the base as well. Super, super cool. Deets on the back. That looks cool. And then the other side, clear blue window. Looking pretty good. White base on this one. Very interesting. And then a few surfboards on the top. 4 surfboards on that top piece there. Looks pretty good. I do believe that top piece still comes off, I think. But I've never opened it, so couldn't tell you. But this one's super cool, just with the textured base. Really, really cool. So we'll slide that guy hopefully back in there. Ooh, man, that one was like brutally tight. All right, this was the very, very first model released. Of course, the Routemaster bus, starting with something iconic. Just a pretty simple base, just a printed base with kind of London in the background. Move this around here. There it is, the London bus. Of course, it was the London bus, Routemaster bus, and then the double-decker bus. There is the deets. This model is pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. There's a lot of metal to it. So that's why we don't see it in the basic range anymore. There is the background that looks super cool. I think it looks great. Nothing fancy on the bottom. This one doesn't even have, like, Matchbox like logo on the bottom. Kind of interesting. There is the Routemaster bus. Of course, it is metal body and metal on the top. So the cream and the red are both metal. That's why it's not in the basic range, because it's just a heavy hit here. A lot of really, really good prints on this one. Of course, Rail Riders, like all of them, does have chrome base, which is plastic. So, pretty cool. There's the deets on the back. I do like this model. I really wish they could release it more often. Get your Lions Bros right there on the corner. That's pretty cool. So, pretty nice. This one is a little wobbly in there, but it is held in same as the rest of them. And then, of course, Matchbox on the bottom. That one's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. It was, I mean, they announced that this was going to be the first one. Everybody was kind of like, meh. But the Routemaster is cool. We like the Routemaster. All right, Chevy Trucks. This is the gold C10. This is basically from Field of Dreams, although it's not licensed. It doesn't say that, but it's 100% from Field of Dreams. 1964 Chevy C10 pickup, of course, in gold. Looks fantastic. This model did debut here as well. Look at the stance on that. Look at the stance on that. That is wicked cool. The truck doesn't look anywhere near as cool as that one does. Look at the card art. It's wicked. The only thing I don't like is that you can't really get the bed as defined. So it makes it look like it's all one body piece, which I'm not a big fan of, but the stance is fantastic. There is the prints on the side. Looks fantastic. C10, a little bit of history. 64. It looks... You know, they give you a bunch of, like, ridiculous stuff here. Like, they don't really give you, like, actual, like, interesting stuff. Just random mumbo-jumbo. So we'll slide this guy out. This one is ultra tight. I remember this one specifically. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever slid this one out of the entire case. Oh man, it's so... Oh, man. Oh, man. So ridiculously tight. There is Field of Dreams, the Field of Dreams. All right, let's get to the model. Gold. This is moving parts. Love the wheels. Look fantastic. The wheels were kind of represented on the card art, but it definitely doesn't have that stance. It's definitely sitting up higher. Definitely a factory deal. Again, this one debuted here. Moving parts, opening hood. Really good prints for the front. If I can get that to focus for us. There we go. A little bit says Chevrolet. See, this base is nice and textured with some interesting prints on there to make it look like it's wet for certain spots, which is super cool. Same details on this side, nothing different. There is the print on the back. This casting was the Gathering dinner model this year as well. So pretty cool. As far as base deets, not anything here. You see the texture in the base that it's attached to, which is super cool. I really like that one a lot. Does have print. So this hood I know opens, so pop it open and you can see the cool print in there. Again, they don't put a rubber band on there to hold that on. It's not something that I cut off or took off of there. They don't put it on there, so which is good. The Beetle had a rubber band on there to hold it together, but all right, going back to the 80s, super rad Porsche time. Kind of a precursor to the Porsche we're going to do at the end. 911 Turbo. This one was an absolute banger when it dropped. I think this might have been the fastest selling collector's release that's ever been released. I think this thing sold out in like less than 10 minutes, if I remember correctly. People just scooped it up. It looks fantastic. It is so 80s with all this neon and stuff. It just looks super, super cool. This is definitely my favorite of all the collectors released thus far. I really, really like this one a lot. Card art on the back looks fantastic, although I think in this case, for rarity, the model itself actually looks better than the card art. There is the deets there. Gives you a little bit of casting history from the original Porsche Turbo to the new one that they did. Pretty cool. Nothing fancy on the bottom. As a matter of fact, you don't even have Porsche hologram or anything on there. Just a Porsche print. Of course, that is ridiculous 80s. That's ultra rad, super rad. Reminds me of Rad Racer 100% right there, 100%. Absolutely super cool. Super, super cool. I love it. I love it. I love every bit of it. Look at the bass. The bass is like a disco floor, like 80s digital synthwave bass. It's just so cool. It's so cool. This is the coolest one ever. I was so flabbergasted with this one. This is the coolest model ever. This is like the coolest model that Matchbox has released in the modern day by a long shot. Full deets on the front look fantastic. It says Porsche. I can't get enough of this one. It's such a good model. Love the blue wheels. Absolutely ridiculous. So cool. So cool. Print on the back. It says Porsche Matchbox on the bottom. Turbo. Got your whale tail going on. Of course, this is the moving parts version, so there's opening doors to it. And then, of course, Porsche across the banner there for the headlights, or the windshield. The base is a purple color. You can kind of see it's purple. So that is super, super cool. I just love it. I love every bit of this. This is the coolest one released by far, bar none. I highly doubt that RSR is going to be better, but it could be. It might be, maybe. All right. Very, very different flavor than what we've seen thus far. This is the 2019 Ram Ambulance in National Parks Medical Services. Unfortunately, this one took quite a bit to sell out. I'm pretty sure it's sold out now, but it was a slow seller. And I think it's just because it's an ambulance. There's not a whole lot of collectors that, buy everything. But there is a lot of emergency collectors. I think this is second place behind that Porsche, and it's just barely there. It's barely there. I think this is definitely the second best model of the collector's series. Looks fantastic in kind of a Spectre Flame. National Parks green. Details on the bottom, nothing fancy there. Card art looks pretty good. Looks very realistic. Not a big fan of the wheels, but the card art looks pretty good. There is the deets on the back, a little bit of talk about the Ram, talk about the national parks a little bit. It's more of a word mumbo jumbo, in my opinion. Never really much substance there. Of course, there is your national park in the background with the sun coming through with all the rays. That is super cool. Very nice prints in the back. This is a very nice textured base as well. As a matter of fact, this is the exact same base as the Field of Dreams, just with a different print on the bottom. And of course, a different color for the actual base because it's green. But that's super cool. Full prints on the side. Says National Parks Medical Services, unit number 12. We kind of got a taste that this was coming at the gathering because this was on one of the posters. But it hadn't been announced yet. So we knew it was coming. I think the wheel choice is fantastic, even though that's a Matchbox original wheel. This does have a piece in there to hold the doors shut. The doors have like a zebra kind of print on it, which I think is interesting, but maybe that's something that they do in the national parks. I'm not sure, but I think that's just really, really weird. It says emergency vehicle stand clear on the side. It does have the lights printed up that are red. That's part of the window, so very nice. Get that extra print in there. Solar panels on the top as well. That looks super cool. Really, really nice. Really nice. I really like this one a lot. It's barely behind that Porsche because it's just that good. All right, last one before we get to our RSR is the ugly Duckling. The ugly Duckling. I don't know what happened with the Divco. This comes in like a RLC kind of style box. Says Divco on the bottom, Tootsie Roll. Little small acrylic case with a cardboard cover that comes off of the top. It's just folded up. It says Tootsie Roll. It's supposed to be designed like a Tootsie Roll. But this one just doesn't have anything to it. There's just nothing to it. I feel like this is just rushed to get it out just so that there was something released in collector's line. It's not even brown. This thing is like a, it's like a gray. It's like a gray color. Which is really interesting. It looks okay. I mean, it's an okay model. I mean, the prints look pretty good on it. It's an opening parts model. It's got a white base on this one. White doors that open up in the back. Does have a piece in there, but there's no prints anywhere on this acrylic that says anything of what it is. Like Hot Wheels always have some print on there or something. Maybe just even the Matchbox logo at the top would be nice. But they didn't do anything. They totally didn't give two nothings about this Divco, which kind of makes me not really give two nothings about that Divco because it just wasn't that great. All right. Time has come to open the money shot. We're just going to use a pair of scissors to cut this. Porsche 911 RSR. This is the brand new release. I literally just got these in yesterday, so I've been waiting to open this up to do this on video. So I think that we can have the same reaction. Of course, we've seen pictures and stuff, but it's always different when you see it in person. So they added a couple of extra pieces of tape at the top here. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, but they only did that for the last couple of releases, which was kind of interesting. So just crack this guy open. Shake him. Shake him until he comes out. It does come with a little bit of reinforcement in there, just in case you guys are curious. They've been doing that for a couple of releases as well. Nothing fancy with this. All of the boxes look like this. Every single one of them. They all come in a box just like this with the name on it. Even the Divco, it's just smaller. Just way smaller. So we'll go ahead and take the tissue paper off. I used to keep the tissue paper, but I no longer keep the tissue paper, so we will just get it off of there and be done with it. Whoa, very, very nice. All right. Porsche 911 RSR. I am so happy to see Matchbox do true race cars. Hot Wheels has dominated that market forever, and I love seeing Matchbox finally getting their shot at making some actual race cars. Love the color of the box. This is a unique color. Nothing's been anywhere near this color. So that's super, super cool. Definitely like that. Again, the card art is fantastic. Look at the card art. So good. A little bit of details on the back there. 2023, of course, first appearance right now. MB1308 is our man number for this brand. Spanking new casting. Debuting here. I guarantee you this will make it into other lines. It does not have any opening parts. I can tell you that. We did see a prototype at the gathering when we were there. There is some racetrack details in the back. Kind of like it's racing at maybe Willow Creek or something like that. Maybe somewhere that's kind of away from the beaten path. There is our RSR. Oh, looks so good. Again, not a big fan of the wheels. Same wheel that the Golf Corvette used. It is all matte prints for the decos on there, which I think look good. Super high quality prints as well. I was not feeling this deco when I first saw it, but I can tell you, seeing it now in person, it's fantastic. Very, very interesting. So the headlights are yellow. They're yellow. Now, that might be print. They may have printed yellow over it, which is probably what they did. But that is a very, very nice touch because that's part of the interior window piece. So to tint those yellow to make them accurate to the one-to-one race car is a big, big deal. This looks fantastic. Oh, looks so good. Stance is perfect. I bought a couple of these. I'm probably going to have to open one at some point in time and maybe display it or something like that. The wing is metal, so the wing is part of the body. Unfortunately, it does have a plastic base, but it has a nice, big, huge diffuser in the back. A lot of really good prints on this. Really, really good details to it. Of course, it says number 23 on the side. For 2023, there's a lot of really good detail in that rear window. You can see all the detail in there. Of course, it says RSR. And it's, on its track print. Apologize for all that glare. That looks super, super cool. Just coming around the corner. It's fantastic. Looks super good. There is the detail on the bottom. Just Porsche Matchbox. Nothing fancy like that. So that one is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love that one a lot. That one is super, super cool. There is our wall. It doesn't quite fit in the shot, but that's kind of where we're at so that we don't have to reset. Just kind of put it there a little bit. And of course, the ugly duckling is, of course, the Tootsie Roll. So there you go. We're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Let me know if you guys got all those. If you're looking for more of those, I love them. Those are fantastic. Really, really good stuff. Pretty cool to walk through them too. So we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Leveling.cast. Peace.